Cancer new moon energy reading. So, we are in a Cancer new moon at present. There's a lot of healing as I've been channeling and downloading the guidance and the messages surrounding our healing and heart chakra stuff. Um, More energy healing, of course, is going forth. I don't know how this is affecting you guys. I have a Mars Cancer. I'm a Mars Cancer moon, or not Mars moon. I'm a Mars Cancer. It is ruling moon is Cancer's ruling planet, so yeah, that makes sense why I said that. But no, I'm a Mars Cancer, so it affects me a little bit differently, maybe than how it's affecting you or whoever else. So, I was mid through a reading. I was doing a reading for a client. I hate calling them clients. I was doing a reading, okay, a personal reading for someone, and these cards came out, and the message was so clear. I'll get to that in a second, but before I do that, because um, hey sis, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to annihilate some demons, okay, and on top of that, I'm going to expose some of mine that I've been releasing as well, okay. So we're gonna do some green tea. The tea is green. The shade is a sunflower field, okay? So it comes with light and it comes with love. But nonetheless, my sword is my tongue. So I'm gonna annihilate and slay things that need to be said. Um, so for the past week, Spirit's been dealing with my heart chakra, healing certain things within that, rejection, inadequacy, things from my adolescence, back from when I was, let's say, 16, I think 16 to around like my early 20s. Um, as a teenager, um, and I appreciate my sis for being here, and I thank her for that session that we had. It wasn't a session; it was just us being us. But she helped me to really go deep into my wounds at that time, because I've been healing an ex, my first, the first boy that I ever, had sex with, um, so-called boyfriends, and he was my first relationship that was really toxic. I went through a lot of abuse with him. He was very, very abusive, narcissistic, but he was wounded. There's no excuse for that, but he was wounded. He grew up in a broken home. He might have seen some things that weren't for his highest good. His relationship patterns were built off and molded after his mother's relationships, which his mother, and she was so sweet, but she was, had men in and out of her life, so he saw that. He took out his frustrations out on women and those who allowed him to do what he did. So long story short, he really traumatized me when it came to me expressing myself with people, feeling comfortable to do that, because he shamed me a lot for that. He made fun of me for that. He was narcissist. What narcissists do is they make you feel safe and comfortable in the beginning, and as soon as you don't do what they want you to do, or you don't come at the snap of a finger, or whatever the case may be, they hurt you in whatever way that may be. So he really did traumatize me a lot, and I'm still healing from that even as an adult. I'm well over 30 years old now. That was when I was 16. He was in and out of my life from 16 to maybe like 20s, my early 20s. Um, so any other relationship, or not so much relationship, because I would only say that I've probably been in one relationship my whole life, which was with my daughter's father, and that was when I was very young as well. And when I met my daughter's father, I was very toxic. I was very insecure at the time. I was free spirited and loving to some degree, but when it came to relationships, I was toxic. Um, the type of guys that I would date were toxic. We were just toxic for each other. Um, and I was dealing with that Jezebel spirit where she was very manipulative and conniving and controlling, um, seductive. And that's another thing about my energy as well. I have a lot of Venus placements, I have a lot of Scorpio placements. So I have the ability to attract and lure people in And with that type of energy, you have to be mindful of how you utilize it. You don't want to use it for bad. In my case, I was charming, men and stuff to like get what I want. I wasn't like a gold digger. It wasn't like money stuff, but it was more so like, um, I just didn't know how to be in a relationship. I didn't know how to be faithful. And I dealt with someone else that wasn't faithful either. So it was like we were just toxic for each other. So at that time, and that's why Spirit has had me be single for years until I really consecrated myself and clear myself before I could even be in another relationship, like at least a relationship that I'm called to be in and that I truly desire. Um, until I can be in that space where I can be in a healthy dynamic in a divine connection, I can't go in the way that I used to be. So fast forward that back to that energy of being kind of like a siren, being sensual and having that natural instinct as feminines. What we have a nature of being very sensual and erotic. That is our nature, but when it's channeled correctly at a young age, I always had that. Even though I was not sexually active until in my later years, I always had like a aura about me. And my sister had she made note of something. When you're young, people prey on kids that have that natural aura of radiance, their light, their it's like their god and their goddess energy. They already have it when they come into this earth. So like people that are parasitic and demonic and perverted, they'll look at a child and think sexually about them. So I went through molestation as a child as well. I had mom's boyfriends looking at me sexually in the wrong way when I was a young girl. Like, even though I wasn't doing anything sexual or nasty, and those things also make you feel insecure. So you tap into the darker side of your sensuality and your sexuality. And hence why, some women or men act out the way that they do because they've been traumatized, they've been molested. So they might be overly sexual, hypersexuality. They might even themselves become predatory sexually against people or children, sadly. Um, so I attracted predators as well, even as an adult. I could just be being me, and I would still attract narcissistic people that feel entitled to my energy, whether it's sexual or not. Um, so Spirit had to really like expose that side of me in order for me to release it, and I've been releasing it. Um, I just didn't know it. I just didn't know how it was playing out and how it was affecting me in my adult years. I've been celibate. I wouldn't say celibate. No, I've been abstinent from sex for almost 4 years. It's not a long time for some. For some, that's a long time. I never really had an active sex life, only when it's probably too much information. But anyway, um, probably when I was with my daughter's father was where I had the most active sex life. But other than that, it was just every now and then. Um, so yeah, I had to expose that part of myself and release it. And also not to be demonized by my sexuality, my nature, my sensuality, and my eroticism. Like, not to cap that, because I'm a mermaid. Like, I resonate with mermaids. I'm a mermaid, so that's natural. But not to abuse it, right? So fast forward, I've been dealing with this um, person that has been harassing me for years. Um, this person, what narcissists, I'm going to say this, what narcissists, what they do, and this person, they need to deal with themselves. But that's the problem with people that either have heavy narcissistic traits, or they are themselves that, or they're heavily demon infested. They project their problems onto other people. They never take accountability for themselves. My biggest lesson in this was um, standing in my power, and I'm going to continue to do that until this demon leaves me alone. Because they don't have any power over me, nor no power of authority over me. So that's why I'm going to expose this. So this demon, how it manifests itself is this is what I learned. I had to expose my own demon within myself that I needed to heal the Jezebel spirit, as they call it in the church or in Christianity. The Jezebel spirit needs to be heard. It likes to be seen. It needs validation. It's manipulative. It's controlling. It's pushy. It has no respect for other people's boundaries. This person has no respect for people's boundaries. It started off with, it's fake kindness. What they do is they love bomb you, whether it's through kind gestures. It could be a platonic narcissistic situation or dynamic. In this case, this person thinks it's romantic between us, or thought it was. So anyway, this person that spends most of their time on social media trying to so-called expose me, they harass me, they make different YouTube pages just to stalk me, just to harass me, cuss me out, saying that I'm stalking them, but it's the reverse. They started off commenting on my YouTube channel, nice things, and me being cordial and me being kind towards people. I would say thank you or like the comment or whatever it would be. It wasn't until I exposed my face that this person hit me up privately when YouTube had messengers. And I sent these conversations to my friends when it happened, so that there's a record of that. This person hit me up via YouTube when it had Messenger, telling me that they were in love with me and all this other stuff. And when I kindly declined them, they continued to proceed to show that they were interested, even though I told them to stop messaging me. It stopped with YouTube, and then it advanced to them making more pages and following me and subscribing to my channel. Had to block them again. Then it proceeds to email, sending me unwanted messages. And then it proceeds to them cussing me out, calling me names, condemning me, calling me all these other names, talking about my YouTube channel, demonizing my gifts, all these different things. It starts with that. So that's what they do. They lure you in with love bombing and kindness and all that other stuff. And then when you decline it, they'll continue to harass you, or they'll continue to proceed with their love interests. This person is mad anyway. They're sick. So I try to have sympathy. I can't have empathy for them because I don't resonate with that energy, but sympathy to understand that some people, it is what it is. And I'm going to expose what it is. This person, still in a young adolescent state, they have not healed. Whatever their rejection stems from, they refuse to do their shadow work. They don't want to do it. It's like, it's null and void. I don't want to deal with it. I'm not going to address it. With the Four of Cups, that's rejection, wanting what they want when spirit is trying to show them something. And at one point, this person claimed they resonated with my readings, but it's only until I started exposing things, they don't like it. And I notice every time I do a certain reading or readings that expose certain things, even in kindness and just shedding light, because I'm a shadow worker, that's what I do. This person, they attack me. So I see what it is now. This person refuses to deal with themselves, so it's easy to project your problems or your lack of healing onto somebody else. That's what they do. It is not your responsibility. It is not my responsibility. You can bash me and talk shit about me on YouTube all day long. You have no power and authority over here. Until you heal, you're going to be stopped by your own wounds until you deal with it. Whatever that rejection stems from, it's going to manifest itself until you deal with it. Whether it's another woman that's seemingly rejecting you, or something in life that's seemingly rejecting you, until you deal with the root of what that is, it's going to continue to deal with you. Going to continue to deal with you. So I'm not the only one that this person harasses, unfortunately. And it's kind of a relief at the same time, because it can make you feel like, well, what the fuck did I do? All I was doing was standing in my truth and in my power. I don't owe you anything. You created a fantasy and an illusion of who you thought I was or what you thought it was going on, but I never fed anything to you. I never told you that I was interested in you. I never fed into that. So at that point, it's really just based off of illusion. This person has even gotten a reading from me before, and I didn't know it until later on down the line. And they even apologized to me at some point after all of this harassment, just to go back to making pages, stalking me, talking shit about me, going to other people talking about me, so-called trying to expose me and my gifts and all this crazy shit, crazy stuff. But The moral of the story is I'm not your problem. Those demons don't like me. They attack me because I expose what needs to be healed, and they don't want you to get free. They're they're feeding off of you. So yeah. Yeah, I'm almost like gotta scan people, and you gotta be discerning as a reader who you allow in your space. At that time, I was like still a baby on my journey when it came to like accepting people. I wasn't discerning the spirits. I wasn't discerning the energy. I didn't know that it would get this far, but it needed to happen so that I can learn how to stand in my truth and also see just how much my sword really triggers demons. And that's what I'm here to do. I don't like it all the time. It's not fun. But if it's going to help somebody get free, why not? They're probably going to attack me right after this, and I don't give a fuck. My business is not to make people feel good. That's not what I'm here to do. It's not to make people feel bad neither. It's here to help people get free in their spirit. That's all I'm here to do. That's it. I don't like it. My flesh don't like it, but I know in my spirit that that's what it is. Um, yeah, and it's just you go back to, oh, I shouldn't have posted my face. I shouldn't have did this. Oh, maybe I should have never responded. But it's like, why hide yourself? For what? So you can appease. It's to push you off. And that's another thing. They want to harass me off of the internet, or they want to harass me off of YouTube and all of that. That's not gonna work. I'm just gonna fight 10 times harder. The only thing that me and the demon have in common is we're gonna fight for ours. That's what it is. And I'm gonna fight till I slay you, because I have dominion over all demons. So it's not so much the person, it's the spirit working within them that I'm going to come after, whether I know that on a cognitive level, a conscious level, or not. So that Grim Reaper is like, I'm here to slay. Like, it's for your higher good, though. And that's the thing. The death card deals with the deep, dark stuff. I'm not here to play with nobody. I've been playing on the sidelines a little bit, touching stuff and going, oh, I feel so bad for saying that. But fuck that now. We don't have time to play. And it would be a disservice to whomever needs the healing that spirit sends to me. That's another thing too. This person claims that I'm stalking them, but somehow they're always on my channel. That's a little odd. It's a little weird. Like, okay, I'm stalking you, but why are you coming on my channel? Maybe the reason why you're drawn to it is because something in you wants to get healed, but you don't want to. You don't want that. The demons don't want it. And playing with all these little demonic, the occult stuff that some people don't have no business getting into. That you got to be ordained. Some people don't even have no business dwelling in that stuff. Some people can touch it a little bit just so spirit can show them some different things. But not everybody's supposed to be tapping into that shit. It can, if you're not healed, if you're not right already within your psyche, within your mind, and you're tapping into these spiritual stuff, these spirits, it's going to fuck with your head at some point. You're dealing with the dark. So if you have already an abundance of shadow energy that you're not dealing with, and you're dealing with dark energy, it's going to consume you. I bet you $1 million that that person is probably infested by different spirits operating, don't even know that they're being used. I see past it. You can't fuck with me no more. Like, the stuff that you do doesn't get to me like it used to. It doesn't make me feel bad. It doesn't make me question myself anymore. I'm free from that. A demon can't tell me nothing about myself. A demon, all they do is condemn. They don't convict you. They don't divinely convict you. They condemn you. That's all they can ever do, is condemn you. That's what the devil does. So you can't tell me nothing about me and my business or my spiritual gift. You didn't give it to me, and you can't take it from me. So until you get free within yourself, you're going to continue to feel some type of way. You're going to continue to harass someone that's a projection of you until you deal with your own rejection. Because that's what it is. It's the spirit of rejection that you have yet to deal with. And I'm not responsible. Whoever else you're dealing with, Whoever else you're harassing has nothing to do with that. Yeah, I'll admit there's some fake readers on social media. I'll admit that. I'm not one of them. I know what I do. I know I pray over my readings before I sit down. I know what's in my heart. I know my intentions. So you can't tell me anything else about me. So, with that being said, that is me releasing and freeing myself. Um, Also, with the Cancer energies, it's heavy work. I almost threw up just from doing a singing bowl. Like, that's how intense the healing is. That's how intense the release is. It's got to come up. It's got to be released. Otherwise, you're going to be tormented by it. If you've been called or chosen, as we say, to a certain path or anything that you want out of life that is divinely a divine blessing, you have to show your soul, your spirit is calling you to show that you can handle what you've been called to or what you've been asking for. If you're asking for a divine blessing, let's say a career of your dreams or a love relationship of your dreams or your health, especially health, because a lot of demons are manifested through our health problems. And whether it's our own personal demons or these are generational things, if you've been called to be that healer, you got to go through some stuff. You got to go through some things. It's not easy. See, what separates those that, because many are called, as they say, right? And those, and a few are chosen. See, the thing that separates the chosen is it's almost like you feel like you don't have a choice and you got to do it anyway. When you're called, you can make that decision to be like, yeah, I could, but I don't know if I want to get free. Yeah, whispering spirits. You got to make that decision within yourself, within your soul's choice, not what your flesh is telling you or what your flesh wants. It's not about that. And I hate to break it to anybody that um, you want to be a healer, you call yourself a light worker and all this stuff, but I mean, some of you might actually be shadow workers more so than you are light workers, just saying. But what comes with the territory is you're going to get attacked. You're going to have pushback. You're going to have people that don't resonate with you. If you're on YouTube, you're going to have people that are going to unsubscribe because you're not soothing them. You're not kissing their ass. You're not scratching their back. Um, you're not going to get a lot of recognition, at least maybe at some point, maybe you will, but you got to be okay with being the oddball. You got to be okay with not being accepted. And one thing that I learned too, and this comes with self-love, is like even with my channel, I want to present things to people that, that they want to see, right? But there's also a time where sometimes what people want to see does not resonate with my spirit and what spirit is assigning me to do. So I may not come on here and post every day or 5 readings a day or talk about love and relationships every day or do a bunch of pick a cards on how does somebody feel and all of that if that's not what I'm led to do. I'm not here to be a content creator for the sake of subscriptions and getting recognition. Um, I tell people this all the time. My first encounter with YouTube was solely to help people on a twin flame journey. That was what I was called to come on here for. It was I didn't even think that I was going to be a professional reader. I don't even call it professional. I don't have no certificates or nothing. This is just my gift. But I didn't. I wasn't looking to get anything out of it other than do what I was called to do. And at first it was pushback because I felt like I wasn't ready. I didn't feel like I was qualified enough. I didn't have the right equipment and all of that stuff. And I still really don't have the right equipment, but I make things work. I make it do what it do. But yeah, it's not about that. Like all that other stuff is cool. I'm cool with aesthetics. I'd be like, oh, I like the intro. It's cute. Or her table is bomb. Oh, the crystals on her table. I'm a Taurus. I'm Venus ruling. I can dig it. But it's not the purpose of it. Most of the readers I've resonated with don't have all the pretty aesthetics. They just give it to you raw, and that's what I appreciate more than anything. So it's not about that. Even if you're not coming on here as a reader, whatever you're assigned to do, It's not about the recognition and the praise at the end of the day. And I struggled with that because I'm like, well, how come my channel isn't doing this? And how come I'm losing subscriptions? And it's just like, God didn't call you on here for that. You didn't come on here to be a content creator and have 100K subscribers. It's not what you came here for. You didn't come on here to appease people. What did you come on here for? To help people heal. That was your first call. So that's all it's ever been, and that's all it ever will be. But of course, I wasn't expecting that it was going to be to this degree where I have to combat demons. Um, yeah, they need vessels to feed off of. And if a demon can feed off of a wounded soul, a spirit that feels broken, that feels unloved, um, they're going to do that if they can get in your mind enough, because that's the thing, they'll try. I get attacked all the time by whispering spirits telling me to kill myself. Oh, you're not worth it, you can't do this, you're stupid, oh, nobody's ever going to want to be with you, oh, why would this, oh, this and this and that. You got to have enough discernment not to feed into it, because the weapons are always going to be formed, whether it's within yourself or it's an outside force. It's always going to be a weapon that's formed. And if the lower dark forces can use people, they will use people against you. Your job is to discern it, and your job is to stand in your square 10 toes down and not allow it to waver, like push you around. Yeah. So this Cancer energy, it's not playing, because it's dealing with the heart space. It's dealing with the heart chakra. It's dealing with the home. It's dealing with the root, the foundation of everything. And if we're not 100 with ourselves, we can't be 100 with other people. That's just what it is. So, yeah, we can't be 100 with nobody. If we can't be 100 with ourselves, we cannot be 100 with anybody else. So it's layers to healing. I always say that. If you want to think about Cancer in the form of a crab, the Cancer symbol, the crab, where it's a shell. Underneath that shell is something very soft. It's something very precious. It's something very delicate in that shell. And some of us have been protecting ourselves or certain aspects of ourselves for so long, dealing with due to, to our deepest roots, dealing with family, the home. Cancer is also the mother sign. So a lot of the wounds that we first experience start with our mother. And because it doesn't always have to be that our mother was necessarily toxic towards us, or that we saw her toxic traits being manifested in her behaviors or her lifestyle choices, but it can also be because we were connected to her in our womb. So therefore, we're connecting with her traumas. We're connecting with those before her's trauma, and it's manifesting through us. The blessing with this is that for those of you that are chosen and that you are called to heal past those things, you're breaking that. I say that all the time. You're breaking it off of you. Through you, it's breaking off of you and off of your bloodline. That's heavy shit. So whatever's that ran through your mother's veins, or her energy as she was feeding you in her womb, as you were tied and connected to her womb, those things might manifest through you. It's not always necessarily that your mother did something to you or hurt you or harmed you, but sometimes it may have been. Some mothers may have neglected them. Maybe someone grew up with a teen parent that couldn't raise them, gave them up for adoption, or dropped them off at a family's house, or just didn't show up for you in the way that you needed them to show up, or maybe was very, very hard on you, or overly disciplinary towards you, rather than showing you that nurturing. And that's why we seek outside of ourselves for that nurturing that our parents never gave us. We talk about the dads and all of that. I mean, we could talk about the daddy issues, but it really starts with the womb. It starts with the heart. It starts with the mother, the feminine energy first. This Cancer energy is showing us how to nurture and love upon ourselves through maybe those triggers, through feeling unappreciated, through feeling rejected, through feeling abandoned in some type of way by life or by people or whatever it may be. The outside don't make you. It's what's on the inside. And that's what I feel like Spirit is trying to show us through this energy. Point blank, point period. That's all that it is. That's all that it's going to be. But yeah, it's been intense. I'm not going to lie. I threw up last night. Nothing came out. So that was energy clearing. I almost threw up again doing my so I'm not done clearing, but I was doing some energy clearing with my singing bowls, my heart chakra, and my solar plexus one. And when I started spinning that heart chakra, I almost threw up. That's how you know you're about to release. Some people's release is through the, the backside. Some people it's through the throat chakra clearing. Some it's tears. That's one of the best forms of clearing is through the tears, because the water, the cleansing, it purifies. So that's one of the best ways to do it. But other than that, um, yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I don't want to spend too much time on here. I really just needed to um, get that out of the way, get the message out, and release whatever that was, that energy. Um, so that's pretty much all it's gonna be at this point. So I hope that this was helpful to whoever needed to hear it. It was just a quick message, or not so quick. Long story short, it's like 30 minutes in, but that needed to be said. Um, so when you guys get a chance, take this Cancer energy in and really like sit with yourself and focus on what parts of the self need more love, more nurturing, where you feel like you weren't getting enough, or you're not getting enough love and affection and attention. And if that's something that you can give to yourself, or is it something that you're getting but you're not looking at the sources that's giving it to you, you're looking outside of yourself for other sources to give it to you, when because God always gives us enough of what we need. So if we feel like we're in lack, it's because we're not in a state of gratitude. We're not in a place to see the blessings or the things or the people that do love us, that aren't rejecting us, that are welcome and available to us. And sometimes the things that we want, it's not for our highest good anyway. It's not for us. It's not for us. So sometimes spirit will make you think that something is rejecting you just so you can get your healing. Don't I know it? Oh, I know about the spirit of rejection. I know about it. Okay, I know. Abandonment, all that. It manifests differently in different people. It doesn't always have to be people. Sometimes it's circumstances in your life. Why not me? Why can't this happen to me? Or why this? Or why not enough of that? Start a gratitude journal. I'm going to do one too. Like I try, like when good things happen to me, I state it out of my mouth. Thank you, God, or thank you to so-and-so, or thank you. But some of you might want to do a gratitude journal so you can physically see everything that you're grateful for. And it's going to shift your whole perspective. Just seeing it on paper, and the energy will take form. And it's true, when your ashes and your gratitudes, it really pays back. It pays you back in multiple ways, not just through material things, but it pays you back in energy. Like, well, everything's energy, but sometimes we think when we're grateful and we ask for physical manifestations, it's also kindness through other people, through other blessings. Spirit making a way for you in a situation that you thought you would never fix or get out of. There's different forms of abundance and blessings from spirit, spiritual wealth. So spirit wants us to be more grateful for our circumstances, because we have enough of what we need, and we can always the yelling. Sis caught me off guard. Okay, because I can be a troll real quick, but I'm not in troll mode right now. Anyway, yeah, but it pays to see that, because spirit can do exceedingly and abundantly all that we can ask. But at our present moments, even more so, like if we stay in the presence and the energy of what we do have, our energy and our mood will shift. It's not so much about looking outside, and it's very easy to do that, especially in your circumstances. You can look at everybody else and think that they got it better than you, or you can go online and it can seem like everybody has it better, but you don't know the trials and the tribulations of what people are going through, growing through, or what they have grown through to have what they have, or if it's even a divine blessing from God in the first place. You don't know that. So everybody's journey and blessing is different. Everybody's. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. The next person's not perfect. We all down here growing and learning through our experiences. The only difference is people that don't stay down and they pick themselves back up and they continue to ascend and evolve past where they've been. They don't allow their circumstances to keep them down. They don't let nobody outside of them keep them down. The opinions of man, that's another thing that my sister, like, she know, like, that's another thing that we all have to grow through, because God is our only validator at the end of the day. When we ascend out of this mug, we don't answer to our mamas, we don't answer to this person or that person, we answer to God. So anybody or anything that is sent to condemn you or try to hurt you or harm you, it's dead weight. Like, what are you talking about? Like, God forgives. I don't. Humans, we have the capacity to forgive, but God, the Holy Spirit, the Most High, loves us unconditionally, no matter what we've done. You can murder somebody, and if you go return back to that part of yourself with that forgiveness and that earnest release of whatever that was that you have done, or that spirit that worked within you, whatever it was that caused you to do that, spirit forgives you. God forgives immediately. That's the thing. The devil will convince you that you can't ascend past where you are, that you're not good enough. And whether you want to call it Satan or whether you want to call it dark forces, whispering spirits, whatever you want to call them, they don't want you to get free from those things, because they're feeding off of your despair. They're feeding off of your fear, your confusion, your insecurities, your self-doubt, your wounds, your rejection, your past, your addictions. They feed off of that. Of course, they don't want you to get free. They don't want you to ascend, because when you're ascending, you're in a higher vibrational energy. You're not in a low, dense energy anymore. Therefore, they can't reach you. They can't touch you. They can't feed. You're not open game for them. So everything is energy at the end of the day, whether we call it spirits, forces, everything is energy. We don't wrestle with flesh and blood. It's principalities, it's spiritual things, high places, things that we can't see in the physical realm, that we don't even know that we're battling with. But when we stay under the wings of the Most High, within our higher selves, within the spirit, not saying that we won't waver sometimes, we don't go through things, but we don't stay down. That's another thing too. It's not always easy. Like, let me tell you, I be wrestling with things. It's like an inner fight and an outer fight all at once. But if you have the inner will to get yourself through it, you can. It's not an easy journey, no. The blessing in it is you're not by yourself, not spiritually nor in the physical realm. You have, I guarantee you, if it's not one person, or if it's not 10 or 2 people or whatever, thousands maybe, you don't even know who's praying for you. You don't know who is sending you love. They say some of our grandma's prayers is still keeping us. Some of our ancestors' prayers is still keeping us. That's how powerful spirit and energy is. Like, your ancestors from 100 years ago could be praying for their future generation, and you being one of them, and you're still under the covering of that prayer. So you don't know what type of support, what type of love you have outside of what you can see. When you're in your spiral, it can feel like you by yourself, but you're never by yourself. See that cup being handed is just a cloud, but that's spirit. This person is so caught up in these other cups over here with their hands crossed, pissing and crying, that they don't see spirit's blessing. Yeah. That's pretty much it. That was a lot. I needed to clear that energy, but also this message needed to come forth. And whoever gonna get free, and whoever don't like it, they ain't gonna like it, and that's not my problem. Your enemy is with yourself at the end of the day. So, much love as always, you guys. I'm for real. I'm getting off. Yep, projections of other people. Yeah. So, that's pretty much it. We don't come here to play with demons. We're not here to make friends with demons. We're not here to appease them. They just gonna have to stay mad. This is just what it's gonna be. So, yeah, much love. I appreciate you guys. I'm hopping off. I'm getting off. If you guys want to, well, I'm still doing happy hours tonight, but if you guys are interested, the submissions are still open. If not, I'll catch you guys in another message, another reading. So yeah, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Cancer moon energy. Love yourself, nurture yourself, take care. And peace.